Hey guys, FilthyRobot here, continuing our playthrough of EU4 with Arumba. Yeah. So this episode, maybe more war.
Yeah, it's a pretty much a historical war simulator. So
Good.
yeah. So I just realized we actually do have another option available to us
Oh god,
outside
you
of going to
recalculated
war
when
with
I wasn't
Denmark.
looking, didn't you?
Yeah. I always look at stuff in between episodes. So notice, go ahead and hover over the truce will expire alert at the top of the screen.
Okay. That's
Remember we
pretty
said
much
the
the only
peace.
one I have up there still. I've dismissed everything except disputed secession and that one. So I don't really know what disputed
Okay.
secession does, but I have the truce screen up there. Yep.
Yeah, we haven't really paid any attention to the disputed succession because we didn't have enough development or prestige to make any kind of a play on it. But we actually are strong enough now. We might want to consider this.
Okay.
Interesting. We'll talk about that in just a second. Okay. So notice that our next truce that is expiring is with Kildare in May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kildare is allied to England. If we wanted to, we could go to war with England in 3 months. We could continue to put the pressure on him while he's weak.
We have 3 claims up there too.
But the drawback is that because we have a truce with him and we can't make him a co-belligerent, that
Everything costs double.
everything we take would be double cost. But this is potentially a war we could win, like an extra war, a bonus war. We could win easily without France being involved, so we don't have to worry about giving France any land either. Let's go check out how strong England is. So go ahead and go to the ledger, L. Press F3 to go to the armies tab. And then let's scroll down. Let's just take a look at how big England's navy, or army is right now. He's got 18,000 troops. He still has mercs. He's got 4 mercenaries right now. Which is interesting because he's got a truce with pretty much everyone that he hates. I'm going to say it's probably not a good idea. We don't have a tech advantage over him anymore. He's caught up on military tech.
How
He's
do
on
you
tech
see
4.
that?
Right-click on him, and then in the top right corner of his diplomacy screen, you can see he's gone admin tech 4, diplo tech 4, military tech 4.
Yeah.
So he's caught up on tech with us. Last time we fought him, we were on military tech 4 to his tech 3. That's a huge reason that we were stronger. So I would probably wait for military tech 5. If we had a tech 5 military advantage, like looking at the technology tab, go to shortcut key 6, the tech tab. We are looking at having military tech 5 right now in October of 59.
Oh wow, that's not far.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half away. So maybe in a year and a half we can consider going to war with England early, but
Okay.
it's just something to notice that's available.
I like the thought process behind it because, the idea of kicking him always down is very appealing in terms of because it's going to set up taking land. And if we war him multiple times, so that double cost is just in the war screen itself. It's not like double admin points for coring that shit or anything. It's just...
Nope, okay. It's like this. So click on the province of, say, Lincolnshire.
Okay.
The one that borders Yorkshire and Dogger Bank.
Yeah.
You see the province war score cost at the bottom. It says 12.98. The actual number on the province pane is just 12, but when you hover over it, it'll say 12.98.
Yes.
That number is doubled.
Okay.
Against non-co-belligerents. So if you were to demand this province in war, it would normally cost 12.98 war score to take this land with a default CB. But if they're not a co-belligerant, it would cost us 26% in this case.
Okay.
So we would only be able to take a little bit of land from him, but it would still be extra land while he's weak, and we could potentially, like in theory, we could even just do nothing but take London. We could take 31% war score cost for double price and just take London from him right now. But it doesn't seem like the opportunity cost is there. Our army is not that much stronger than his. We don't have the tech advantage. We would be paying double price, so that means the truce is longer relative to what you gained. But it's just, again, something to talk about.
And it's something to think about when we're done with Sweden. The opportunity might be back again when we hit our next tier of military. We'll see. I mean, it looks like we're going to have a couple things coming up. I mean, we're not that far off dealing with, I guess it's 5 years for the alliance that we just broke. Is that right? No. We don't.
Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah, anyways.
Okay, so let's talk about this disputed succession thing, because we basically glossed over it at the beginning of the campaign because there was no opportunity for us to do anything with it, but now we can. So disputed succession is a Catholic thing, right? It's a Christian thing. So if you're in the Catholic or the Christian religious group, so Catholics, Protestants, Reformed, Orthodox, Coptic, basically anyone that's in that religious group. So people who are not in it would be things like the Sunnis, the Shias, the Buddhists, the animists, etc. Like the people who are in the Far East, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or in Africa. So if you're in that religious group, then it says in the tooltip, countries that lack heirs may end up in a personal union under another country, which means that they have a with which they have a royal marriage when their ruler dies. They can also have their thrones claimed by other countries of the same dynasty. So, here's what you need to know about disputed succession. If, for example, while hovering over that alert, you're looking at Milan, it says 65 years. That means that Milan's ruler is currently 65 years old, and he has no heir. If he were to die right now, then the country that has the most development and the country that they are royally married to that has the most development will become their overlord potentially, or they will take someone from that country's dynasty. This is a very convoluted, complex part of the game, by the way. This is probably way more detail we should really go into for a tutorial series, but it's worth talking about because it can potentially be very strong. Let's just check one thing real quick. Right-click on Milan. If you don't know where Milan is, you can use the F key to search for it, or you can click on the disputed succession until it goes down to their country. What we're looking for right now is who are they married to? Their only royal marriage right now is with Mantua. So what we're looking at here is that they would be our competition.
I'm misunderstanding what royal marriages are then. I assume that you'd only be able to have one royal marriage.
You can have as many as you want, as many as your relationship limit will give you.
What the hell is a royal marriage then?
Well, think about it like this. Our ruler is James Stewart, right? The second. But that doesn't mean that he's the only man from our dynasty.
Oh, I see.
A royal marriage means like maybe our brother or our niece or nephew is getting married off to someone from their dynasty.
Okay. So it's not that our ruler has married someone.
No. It's a royal marriage between some noble of our dynasty to their dynasty.
Okay.
And the game actually does track a lot of that stuff behind the scenes, but it's not something that we're going to get involved with. It's not something you can even interact with to see how large a dynasty is, for example.
Okay.
But so looking at Milan, their only royal marriage is with Mantua. If you click on Mantua, we can go and look at them and see how large this nation is. So Mantua is a single province minor directly adjacent to them to the east. It has 22 development. We have way more development than they do. Therefore, if Milan were to die while royally married to us and to Mantua, we would win when it comes to that competition. So this is a great opportunity to potentially get a union over Milan. All we need to do is improve relations with Milan enough that they will accept a royal marriage, and then we just need to pray that he dies.
Okay.
And if he dies, then we would have a union over Milan, or at the very least, there would be of our dynasty.
So why haven't we been doing this before then?
Because we didn't have enough development and our prestige was too low.
How does the prestige? How do I see? I get the development. We've been taking more land, so we have a higher total development score for our country. That makes sense to me. But I mean, if we were competing, we probably had more development. Where was Mantua? Like, how do I see their total development and their total prestige? Because if we were only competing with a one province minor before, wouldn't we have probably been better than them still?
In this case, yeah. With this specific country, Milan. The ones that I remember seeing before were much larger nations that we had no chance of competing for. The other ones that are showing up on this list right now, we've got Muscovy. Normally, Muscovy would be appealing to me, but he's only 18, which means he's probably going to get an heir.
Yeah.
It's probably not worth going for. But the 65 with Milan, that guy's going to die soon. There's a
is
very
that
good
prestige
chance
next to it then? When it says Milan 65 years, prestige 12, is that our prestige that we need to have to do that?
That's their prestige.
Oh. Okay. So how do we know that we didn't have enough? You said we didn't have enough prestige for this before. Where are you getting that we have enough prestige now when we didn't before?
We started the game off at like 0, like 6 or 7, somewhere around there. Now we have 64.
Yeah.
I don't even really know exactly how prestige factors into the equation. I just know that you have to have high prestige and you have to have more development than the royal marriage partners of the target nation.
Okay.
So it's not something I worry about until I've met those two criteria. Then I start to think about it.
All right. Then I am going to... Oh, you already pulled back the guy.
No, I didn't. I would pull back the diplomat from probably Denmark. Yeah. It's the least important action.
Yeah, no, but I meant you took the guy. What I was going to say when I finished is you took our espionage guy out and put him in Lithuania. Okay.
You did that. I didn't send him to Lithuania.
I think you did that. Okay, you're probably right. I'll take your word on it. All right. So Milan, we're going to go improve relations with. Oh, but I can't because he's not back yet. 4 days. Okay.
Yeah. So this would be a circumstance where having more diplomatic reputation would actually benefit us. Diplomatic reputation would affect their willingness. Notice when you hover over the royal marriage with Milan, they have negative 32 reasons, and see how it says Scottish diplomatic reputation +2.
Yes. I have to hover over the X though. Okay, I got it now.
Yep. Every 1 point of diplomatic reputation will give them 5 reasons. And the reason why we're getting 2 reasons is because we currently don't have a full point of diplomatic reputation because we have overextension.
All right.
We are at 0.42 diplomatic reputation right now. So anyway,
Pop up.
let's just pay attention to Milan and see if we get enough to get a royal marriage soon.
All right, we have this is called Sale of. I thought it said Sale of Tiles, but that can't be right. There's two L's in there.
Titles.
Yeah. Oh, it's a T. It's TL. Okay, that looks very much like double L to me. Okay, gold is a sign of nobility. We can gain ducats. We would lose the nobility.
Stability.
We would.
I know this event quite well.
No, it doesn't say. It says loses 10 loyalty, and the nobility estate loses 10 loyalty,
right.
and the burghers estate gains 10 loyalty. We'd gain 31 ducats doing it, or nobility cannot be bought, and we would gain 50 admin power, which immediately makes me interested. And the nobility estate gains 10 loyalty, but the burghers estate loses 10 loyalty.
Interestingly, so the reason why it's admin points instead of stability is because we're already at 3 stability.
Oh, cool.
We're already at the cap, so it's converted it into admin points for us right now. Okay, so now we got to rethink it then. If it was stability, I would have just always taken the stability. It's just so much more valuable. But since it's 50 admin points, who's it going to piss off again?
So, okay, I think the comparison here, if I'm understanding this correctly, there's two alternatives. One alternative is that we get gold and we piss off the nobility estate, but we gain loyalty with the burghers estate. I don't even know who the burghers estate is, but because I only remember the nobility and clergy.
Merchants.
They're the merchants.
Yeah,
okay.
And we haven't really interacted with them too much.
No, we haven't.
We may want to soon.
And the other option is we gain 50 admin power. We gain 10 loyalty with the nobility, and we lose 10 loyalty with the burghers estate. Okay? All right, so let me see. So this is our third one that we haven't done anything with yet. We've never touched them.
Yeah, well, it's because they were very weak. In order to interact with most of these choices, they have to have 40% influence, and we just aren't very strong when it comes to trading. So they only have a very, very small amount of base influence. The only thing we can even do with them is ask for a contribution. 31 gold would be nice, but I'm thinking we should go ahead and please the nobility now.
Yeah, well, I want the admin stuff because I want to buy the rest of these cores.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we get a lot of good things that we get. So take the admin.
Yep.
That'll bump up their influence to no, the influence stayed the same, but their loyalty went up to 56.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the interactions with the nobility, one sec, I got a song that came on that this guy's very distracting.
You poor bastard, you haven't disabled the soundtrack yet? All right.
Okay, it's a great song. It's just he's singing words instead of just music. So
okay.
So now that they are at 56 loyalty instead of 46, now what I'm looking at is if we call a diet and we sacrifice 5 prestige, we can get their loyalty above 60%, lower our maintenance costs.
Gain 50. Okay, hold on. All right. So I'm on the estate screen, and I've clicked on the nobility interactions, and I'm looking at things now. I see that we have 56 loyalty, 48 influence, and 18% of the state development in Scotland or something. All right.
Yep.
So, and we're looking now. Gain a level 2 diplomat. We have a level 2 diplomat. That's the one we have, and we have a level 2 admin.
Right. This would be a level 2 diplomacy guy, which could be very valuable to us right now.
I like the idea. The RPG, the part of me that enjoys leveling in RPGs kind of enjoys the idea of getting another level of minister here.
Yeah, I definitely think if we could hire a level 2 advisor, we talked about this before, but I'll just reiterate. A level 2 advisor at half price is effectively the same thing as 2 level 1 advisors as far as points per cost, which is awesome. It's really, really good. Yeah. So I'm very big fan of that. Also, by doing that, we're going to raise their influence above 60, which means that they are going to get the manpower recovery speed right now is 15%. That's going to jump up to 20. So we like that.
Okay.
So yeah, by all means, recruit the minister. And then second, what I'm still considering is if we call a diet, that's going to give us another 15 loyalty, taking them up to 71% loyalty.
Okay.
If they're above 60% loyalty, just hover over the manpower recovery speed.
Okay.
If they're above 60%, we're going to have a negative 10% land maintenance modifier. This will save us maintenance on our army as well.
Okay. And we're chronically short on gold, so that might be nice.
Yeah.
Are we worried about the influence though? Because that's going to put their influence over 70. Was it 80 or 70 that the
80.
influence is the problem? 80. Okay.
80 is the danger number, but also if we really had to, because they're highly loyal, we could just revoke a province from them.
Okay.
To bring them back.
I'm doing it then.
Yeah, go ahead and call the diet.
You didn't already do that, right? Because it's now manpower is 20% or now. Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna lose. We're actually willing to trade some prestige in order to get this land maintenance modifier now.
All right. And there's just one other thing I wanted to look at. Okay, so the Master of Mint, this advisor is 50% cheaper. We can't have too many though. We only have the 3 advisors. So we just got a diplomat, right? Where is the Master of Mint gone? So okay.
Did you hire?
No, I sure did not.
Master of Mint is an administrative advisor.
He's an administrative advisor. Okay, and we already have an administrative advisor that we give. We already have one because this is a diplomat. So all right, I can't remember. Let's work through this again. So I click on the icon of the administrator is where how I get the other options. Right.
Yep. Click on the portrait of the trader.
Yep. And then I want to take. There's only one is green, so I assume it must be him. I didn't remember his name. And how do I see that? I see he's the +2 one, but they're all +2. Is there going to be the cost? Okay, it's half the cost of the others. So this is the guy that we hired. Okay, got it.
He's also a quarter as expensive to hire, as far as the higher price. 17.1 versus 69.4. He's much cheaper.
So I want to click on him.
Hire him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just by clicking on him, you hire him. And also, this advisor is also, in my opinion, in our current circumstance, much better anyway. The improved relations effect is much more valuable to us than the plus 10% trade efficiency. We're not making much from trade right now. Improved relations is going to help us out with all kinds of stuff. How fast we improve relations with other nations, how fast we lose our aggressive expansion, any other opinion malices that we have will come back from being negative faster. It's a great advisor.
I'm pleased with that.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and unpause. We still have to hopefully get some of these cores done before we can consider doing.
Oh shit, we could actually do that. I was looking at one a minute ago. We have enough for that. Should I just core whatever I want now? So let's see. I think, hold on a minute, that was E to look at those. There's only 2 left, which are Northumberland and Yorkshire. And let's take a look at this. So one is 3, they're both 3 on the trade good, and the 16. I want to take the 16 first. Any reason not to?
Okay. No, sounds good to me.
Right.
Go ahead.
Done.
Now be aware, because you made it a full core, now it's available for estates, and it's also available to be counted towards your total development. Okay. So whenever you add a core like that, you could be causing the nobility or the clergy to like demand more land.
Okay, that will pop up if they want that shit, right?
Yep. Okay. Now I would still consider, because it's got 36% autonomy there. Let's just consider, what if we were to give this to somebody, right? If we give it to the clergy, they would be at 75% influence, still below the threshold for danger. This would give us more money because we would have no autonomy modifier for base tax, so we could make more money. It would also lower unrest in the province, so that would be good. If we give it to the nobility, they would have 85% influence. It's way too much. That would be dangerous. So we can't give it to the nobility. If we give it to the burghers, again,
where am I? So I've opened up the Yorkshire tab, and I've gone to the buildings, and I'm mousing over the estates that we could give it to. And I was trying to track the numbers that you were saying, and I'm not. So where were you seeing their influence from that? Because I see it tells me their loyalty. Influence by 11%, 275. Got it. Okay, never mind. So 80 was the danger number. So we couldn't get to
85 is bad. Okay. The nobility, and up until now we've had like no effect from the burghers. But if we were to give this to the burghers, there's no downside because the autonomy in the province is 36.4%. Right? Giving a province to an estate puts the autonomy floor to 25%, but it's already above 25%, so we're not losing anything. It's a straight up gain over the current situation.
Well, except that doesn't autonomy. Oh, it's gonna take forever for it to go down though. Okay, so it will go down, and won't it eventually? Isn't the floor of this lower than that? What it will be? What's the floor on this one right now in Yorkshire?
If we were to not give it to an estate, the floor is 0%.
Okay, so eventually it will be a downside as opposed to giving it to them, because it's only going to be 25% is going to be the floor with the estate, right? Okay, but it's going to be so long in the future.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing here is that Yorkshire is 7 base production, so the primary development in this province is production.
Okay.
It's got a great trade good. It's 3.0 value, and the burghers have no land right now, so we haven't been able to interact with them and do anything fun with them, which can benefit our country. So I'm just looking at it saying, hey, this is a good province for the burghers in the first place, and it doesn't harm us in any other way. We're not missing out on taxes or manpower because we're already at 36.4% autonomy.
I need more explanation for why it's... I mean, I've heard the autonomy argument now, which is fine, and I've heard the no negative influence, and I hear the goal of pushing our influence up with the burghers, and I hear the goal about eventually being able to interact with them, which requires they have some standing. But why is the production portion relevant to that? Why is the production infrastructure more important than, for example, what's the other one over here? Military manpower, or whatever the hell this military power one is.
Okay, so when considering that it's a predominantly base production province, that should lead you to wanting to make it a burghers province, because hover over the burghers, and you can see it says removes local autonomy for local production efficiency, local trade power, naval force limit, local sailors.
Okay.
Local production efficiency is strictly tied to development from the base production. So what we're saying is that it's as if this province had 0% autonomy for production, and this province has high production.
Okay. Okay.
Versus, let's just say the province was like a 3-3-7.
Yeah.
Maybe had 7 manpower. That should make you want to remove the modifiers by giving it to the nobility.
Okay. And then what's the admin part? Does the admin part tie in with clergy as well? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because so is one. So this is almost as good for clergy as it is for the burghers, except that there's other downsides. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the only reason I would consider going with the burghers instead of the clergy is just that I want to maybe be able to interact with the burghers a bit, and also, it's a good trade good. It's 3.0 trade value. If this was like a grain province or fish, I probably would just give it to the clergy.
Because the difference between 2.5 and 3 is that big a deal, huh?
Well, yeah, it's 50% more production than. Yeah, it's good. I mean, look at the current income from this province. We're getting 3.8 from tax, 3.6 from production.
Where do I see that? Oh, at
top
the
left corner.
Top left. Okay, 0.38, 0.36, yeah.
So we're making about the same from both, which to me means that if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably just go for the one that's going to benefit me, I don't know, the most. I want to balance out the estates. I don't want to give all of it to the clergy, because then the clergy are going to have too much influence. I want them to all help out.
Okay.
Let's give some love to the burgers, man.
I did. I gave it. It's done. Done.
You did. Yep. It's done. Okay, cool. All right. So now let's just go check and real quick see. Can we actually interact with them anymore? They now have 23.5% influence. So not yet enough. Even if we granted monopoly charters.
Oh, you gain diplomatic power. We want admin power. Who gives us admin power?
The clergy do. We could demand that from them, but...
Is it time for more admin power? Loses 20 loyalty. They're currently at 77. Mm-hmm. What do we get from the bonuses of that? We get a loyalty is between 40 and 60. We get 20. So we wouldn't. Oh, but they're above 40 to 60. They're at 70. Is there a benefit for them being at 70?
We would want the clergy. The next break point that would be appealing to us would be 75%.
What? It doesn't. Where does it tell me that?
You just have to know.
Oh, come on.
Plus 75%, but lower than 80 is a good number, because if we were to get him above 75%, we could demand 150 monarch points from him instead of 100.
You're not tempted to do that now? Just because we need the admin points now?
The 100 would be nice, but if I'm going to click that button, and I know that I can only click that button once every 20 years, I would rather click it in a second for 150
All right. That's reasonable.
So here's what I'm thinking, is that in a very short period of time here, we're going to have enough points to core that other province. We give that to the clergy, and then we click the button.
Okay.
So we just got to wait a little bit longer. We
ended
up spending like no time unpaused, but that's okay.
I try to do that regularly.
This is the kind of game you can actually spend a huge amount of time not playing.
Yeah.
Which can be quite good. Portugal's still paying us war reps, by the way. It's going to be nice for 5 more years. Helping finance our recovery.
What is the breakpoint on relations that we need for Milan for the diplomatic marriage or royal marriage?
It's going to come down to all those other factors. Their opinion of us, the fact that we're both Catholic, our diplomatic reputation, the distance between our borders. If they were to stop being neutral, for example. I'm going to go ahead. How about we do this? Go to the diplomatic feedback tab when you're looking at Milan and manually manage our attitude, make them friendly.
Hold on, let me take a look. Diplomatic feedback tab. Is that in the... Yep, okay, got it.
Yeah, right now we're currently neutral. We're going to manually click manage attitude and then just say friendly. Basically just say, hey, we want to be friends with you. So now we have a little green heart instead of a neutral dash. And hopefully that'll maybe make them friendly or not neutral toward us, which would help out with the royal marriage.
I thought that's what we were doing with our bloody diplomat. I thought he was literally making them more friendly with us.
It is and it isn't, right? It's making them like us better, but we're setting our attitude as if we were an AI to Milan as friendly. We're saying we want to be friends with you. Okay. AI is too stupid to realize that that's the case all the time.
I can claim another one on England too. No, I can't. What is the... So you just know because we have 3, it's 5 more per, starts at 20, so it's 35 for the next one, is that right? 20, 25?
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. You can also, just hovering over any province you want to claim, it'll tell you you need 35. It would be kind of cool if there's like an alert to say, like, you can claim a province. So Lancashire, Yorkshire, 3.8, 3.8, 1.8. It looks like our unrest is going down. I bet if we wait until the next core is complete, or we wait until our war exhaustion's down, we got 12 more months of war exhaustion to bleed off. We're looking pretty solid right now.
English separatists at 70.
Yeah, that's the concern. But looking at it, by the time these cores happen or the war exhaustion goes away, we'll have a large enough army to put down all of those provinces. Right? Because right now our overextension is causing us to have 0.9 unrest. So once the overextension's gone, each one of those provinces will be down by 0.9. So it'll be like 2.5, 2.5, 1.5. Hey, okay, so you just did that, huh? All right, you want to click that button, don't you?
The drag it out of them?
Oh! If we give them Northumberland, the clergy have 74.9% influence. They're 0.1% shy from that breakpoint. That's so not cool. All right, are there any other provinces we can give them instead? How about we give them...
So what is it?
Oh,
What is that
this
modifier
good.
that was doing that? Is it the loyalty modifier? No.
It's the percentage of land that they get that increases
Yeah,
their
but
influence.
sorry, it was influence we're trying to tap though, right?
Yeah. All right, so this is interesting. So because we already have the state of Eastern Ireland, because we had Leinster.
I don't remember where I can see states from.
It's actually Sligo. The T map mode. T for areas.
T for state, of course. Okay.
Yeah. When we conquered Sligo, we made that into a state in our country.
Yeah.
So it was already a state when we conquered Cork and Limerick.
Okay.
So even though we have to pay to core this land, we can grant it to an estate right now if we want to, even though it's not completed.
Oh.
Notice how the estate options are available.
Huh.
So let's see. Is there any way that we can get them to 75 but below 80? That would take them to 70.7, and that would take them to... So they would gain 8.4 and 6.7. 8.4 plus 6.7 plus their current, which is... $63. We can do it. If we give them both Limerick and Cork, we can keep them below 80 but get them above 75%.
And then we can tap them for 150? All right. Limerick and Court, doing it. All right, that may be the last thing we have time for, but we can maybe do that. All right, so no estate, clergy.
Yes, clergy.
Okay,
for both. We'll end up giving that other province. Why don't we give that other province to the burghers? It's another province that's got cloth.
The Northumberland one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are now at 75% influence. Also, yeah, it's true. We actually capped them out on controlled provinces. They can only go up to 40% influence from controlled provinces.
All right. So then we're going to go to clergy, and I'm going to demand administrative power.
So here's what we're going to lose. We're going to go from 86 loyalty down to 66. We're still going to be at the break point to get the extra yearly papal influence, but it's going to decay over time. And as soon as it hits 60%, we're going to lose the secondary effect, which is the yearly papal influence and stability cost modifier. So in a few years, we're going to lose that other effect. But the 150 admin is way more appealing to me.
Yeah. And I want to go look at the what can we do with the burgers? They still don't have shit though. Okay.
Yeah, but actually now they are high enough that if we were to grant monopoly charters, that would raise their influence above 40. We could do some of the other directions as well.
All right, should we do that?
Not really, no.
The bait and switch. All right.
And here's the argument for it. It's just that I don't really want the minister or an admiral right now. I don't really care to draft 5 heavies. They're way too expensive for us.
Okay, so what they do is not particularly useful to us right now.
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, the next thing that I would be interested in is if we could get their influence above 50%, I would like to ask for a contribution.
Okay.
The breakpoints for contributions are 25, 50, and 75. So if we could get above 50%, we could double the amount we could ask for in contributions. So 70 ducats. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be nice. We could maybe fund a rebellion with that.
Yeah. I mean, if we could grant them one more province, maybe another province we conquer in the near future, we could consider it. If we really wanted to be mean, we could revoke some land from the clergy now that we've taken what we wanted from them, and then give it to the burghers so that we could take what we want from them. But all this interaction stuff, this stuff wasn't in the base game. They added estates specifically so you had stuff to do while you were at peace. And you can take it as far as you want. Either you ignore them, you milk them dry, or something in between.
All right, let's milk them dry. But anyways, we're way over this one. This was a lot of fun, this one. So
yeah, it's good. I'm liking what we were able to accomplish so far. So cool. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow then.
See you guys soon.